Hi. Let me show you guys something real quick. This doesn't work. Neither does the Blue Yeti I bought. And I think it's both a cord issue, so I'm ordering new cords. And I don't know enough about the equipment I'm using, and so I went off Amazon's referral list. Anyways, doesn't work. So you're getting on-camera audio. Not only that, my son is in the ER right now. Nothing major, he's just having problems processing his food, so he's throwing up a bit. We don't think it's anything major, but that means my little girl is right there. Let me use this guy to show you my little girl and the setup I got going on the other side here. There she is. That means the videos that I want to make, I'm not making today. I was gonna take apart my garage and get a studio area there to shoot photos of the furniture I flip. I was gonna put together the studio downstairs so I could have a place to shoot these videos, because normally this is not a bad spot, I don't think, but typically this table, this kitchen is being used by my sweet family. And so here we find ourselves. No topic for the day, no money in my flipping bank account, and I'm not saying flipping flippantly. I legitimately mean the bank account which I flip things. If you're new here, I'm trying to make $1 million in a year. Yeah. Ah. You gotta do what you can when you can, and that is like a truism. But take it with this. You don't have the material that you want almost ever. You don't have the money, the time, the equipment. There's always an excuse. I've had people work for me, and I've worked with people where there was always this thing they were going to do, and they didn't do it. And then there was always a reason. There's always a reason that they weren't able to get it done. And so when you don't know what to do, or how to do it, or where you're even going, sit down for a minute, meditate, journal, open your laptop, write something, read something. Should take about 30 minutes maybe. And think about what you can do today, what you can do tomorrow, what you can do in your immediate future to start doing something. You can't build on nothing, but you can build on something. And so for me, when I was 24, I was sitting in my apartment that I didn't have rent for, and I was sitting at my kitchen countertop thinking, how am I gonna pay rent? I was insufferable to be around because I was always talking about work, and I never did anything. And that is a good portion of my life. I'm turning 30 this year, which is the year most people complete their first marathons. 30 is a symbolic thing because the last day of 29 and the first day of 30 are virtually no different. But it is this time where you look back and you realize, I'm not a kid, I'm not a young adult, we're just adults now. Like, the things I've always wanted to do are never going to happen unless I do them. And so hopefully you're sitting there, at whatever age you're sitting at, and you're thinking to yourself and you're realizing, what I need to do is not going to happen unless I do it. And that seems like a truism, but tomorrow is a much better time to do whatever you want to do. Trust me, you will always know that tomorrow or the day after or next year or when I get that promotion or when I get married, and it never gets easier. It does not ever get easier. And generally speaking, by the time it's gotten easy enough or you have enough time, you don't want to do it anymore. You just have to take some action, man. You're gonna look back at life. I'm in the middle of this period. I was watching a Casey Neistat vlog, and he's around 50 now, and he's 51. And he regrets a large portion of his life because he didn't do as much, and he thought more, and he didn't take advantage of scenarios, and he wasn't humble enough. Like all these mixes that I see, mixes of myself in, all these things, right? Whereas Casey, his younger brother, who you probably know Casey Neistat more than Ben Neistat, just did stuff. So my advice to anybody who's any age, as somebody who didn't do anything of note from 0 to about 25, you need to make a plan. Listen, all plans change, but when you don't know what to do, how to do, or where to start, you need to find a way to start doing it, and you need to start a way to do it today. As soon as you can. Make any measurable progress as soon as you can. That's it. That's how I started my furniture business, that's how I moved here, that's how we got a house. We just Do the things you can do as you can do them, the days you can do them. That's my biggest set of advice. It's just starting to actually do it. Make the call. If you have a business idea, start the business idea. One of my favorite podcasts ever was How I Built This with this founder of Netflix. And his biggest thing to people who are starting businesses, entrepreneurs, where you just need to start. And once I heard that, that's one of the few things that changed my life, where I've had many failed business ideas in the past, and I stopped having those failed business ideas really as soon as I started doing things. They were not failures as much as after that, they were not failures. They were something I tried, and then I figured out very quickly whether I could or couldn't, and then that was pretty much it. Before that, man, I'd ruminate on an idea for years, and nothing would ever happen. YouTube, I wanted to do YouTube, this video, me and you, where I could be doing it on my phone. I wanted to do that 13 years ago. That's when I really wanted to start. I fell in love with Vimeo. I love this day watching Red Bull videos as I just throw them up on the screen while I'm doing stuff. They're all awesome. But yeah, you need to start doing stuff. There's no other simpler way to say it. My plan for this year is already gone to crap. I made a plan, but I started doing it as soon as I could, and now we're adjusting the plan. Plan's not going to plan. So adjust the plan. You gotta adjust the plan. And then you gotta sound like a broken clock. Now, you've just gotta not stop. And it becomes almost a sickness of like, I'm not gonna stop doing this. Your friends are gonna think you're crazy. They're gonna think you work too hard. You're gonna think you're this or they're that. But if you really wanna achieve the thing that you wanna get done, whether that's get a wife, get a career, get the raise, start your own business, start photography, start videography, be an artist, you just need to start, and you need to start with such tenacity. You need to start with such tenacity that you won't be questioned. And that's probably it for me. I gotta watch my daughter. She's starting to get a little grumpy that I'm not giving her much attention. Just start.